It looks like another frustrating day for MSTR shareholders. So we're going to talk about it, guys, in this video. A lot of you guys left some good, helpful comments on my previous video I uploaded earlier today about why it's so frustrating to hold and own MSTR right now. So we're going to talk about the preferred stocks. So MSTR has four preferred stocks, okay? And we're going to talk about them in this video since the first preferred stock, okay, which is STRK, was launched in January of 2025. So the entire preferred stock debacle started this year, and we're going to discuss whether this is putting a dampening effect on the stock price. And I'm not going to lie, guys. As I was doing research for this video, I did, my eyebrow did kind of raise as I was kind of seeing what was happening with the impact of these four preferred stocks. So they're here up on the screen, STRF, STRC, STRK, and STRD. So all four of these were offered on Robinhood. And obviously this is great because it gives Michael Saylor access to capital and he can buy Bitcoin. But what about the downside risks? So we definitely need to talk about this a little bit more because these products are starting to gain more inflows and they're starting to grow. So right now, these preferred shares haven't even been available less than a year. Okay, remember I mentioned the first one launched on January 27th. So they've only been around for less than 10 months, guys, about 9 to 10 months. Okay, not even a full calendar year. And they've already attracted about $6.5 billion in capital. So, I expect this number to skyrocket. Okay, I expect this number to skyrocket over the next couple of quarters and few years. So we need to talk about whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. So as usual, guys, I got my presentation laid out on Miro. Before I get into the video, guys, I want to invite you to join the MSTR Investors Club. I post a lot of videos in there showing my live trading, and you guys can check out my portfolio progress and show you guys which options contracts I'm holding into this bull run. And I kind of just share a lot of tips and strategies, more personal information that I don't really share with the videos that I publish to the general public. So be sure to check that out, guys. You can find the link in the pinned comment or just check out the description and grab MSTR Options Cash Flow, guys. This ebook kind of really shares everything I know about trading MSTR options, and I update the guide every month to keep it current, like to update it with things that I'm doing well and some mistakes that I'm making to help you guys avoid making the same mistakes. And I really believe with this information in this ebook, it's only $49, but it's really going to fast track your success trading options. And like I said, it only takes one profitable options trade to make all the money back, and then you just basically ended up getting like the ebook for free. So like I said, guys, check that out, link in the pinned comment. Okay, so here's my breakdown. Saylor's preferred stock dilution. So I did some research, okay, for this video, give you guys what I think. So here's what I came up with. Okay, the preferred stock dividends are about $93 million quarterly and $23 million a month. So I got this data when Strategy, okay, they just filed a 8K with the SEC. Okay, so you can find this on the investors relations page on the website, and then just you can just track all the press releases, and it puts all the information and public knowledge. So here we go. So this at the end of Q3, this was the dividend obligations for MSTR. Okay, now you guys are probably also wondering, how does MSTR pay the dividend? Okay, I'm gonna go over that really quickly. So Saylor sells MSTR common stock to pay dividends. Okay, so what he's doing is he's issuing and diluting the common stock to pay the preferred share holders. So right now, STRF has a dividend of about 10%, okay, per quarter, and a $2.50 cash dividend per share. And the total dividend obligations for Q3 were $29.2 million. Okay, now STRC is a monthly dividend, so that changes. Okay, it's a variable. It pays about, right now, I think Saylor updated the dividend, the annual dividend. Okay, it's an annual dividend, but it's paid monthly. So I think right now the APY is 10.25%. So this is a little bit outdated, but As you can see, it's pretty in the general vicinity, the general ballpark. So the stretch dividends costing about $24 million a year. Okay, and that's 10.25%. So that's something like about 90 cents a month per share in dividends cost. Okay, so STRK, that was the first preferred stock that Strategy issued in January. Okay, it's an 8% dividend, $2 per share quarterly, and the total cash dividend requirements are 27.2 million per quarter. And then finally, STRD. Okay, that one pays 10%, and that cash per share is $3.05. The total dividend capital requirements are 37.6 million per quarter. So why am I telling all you guys this? Well, I'm telling you because I want you to kind of understand that right now the dividends are costing Strategy about a good chunk of change. Okay, so they're spending over 93 million in quarterly dividend payments, and the monthly is being stretched out at 23 million. That's going up as the Saylor adjusts the rate. So this is costing the company money. We didn't have this issue the last couple of years. So I was kind of thinking to myself, maybe the markets aren't really receiving this well. Maybe the dilution is getting too much. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. We need to be in reality, okay? Strategy is nowhere near as diluted as, as some other stocks out there. I mean, come on, guys, you got big tech stocks and, Mag 7, these companies have billions and billions and billions of shares issued, okay? So, MSTR doesn't have that, okay? Even diluted, there's only 320 million shares available. Okay, now in contrast to Strategy's 320 million shares available, NVIDIA has, I can't believe it, guys. Is this for real? 24 billion shares outstanding? So come on, guys. If we talk about dilution, NVIDIA has 75 times more shares outstanding than MSTR. So guys, come on. All right. We got to throw that part out. This whole dilution FUD is BS. Okay. NVIDIA has so many more shares outstanding and the stock is going through the roof. Largest company by market cap, in the United States. Guys, I like this site a lot. I hope you guys check this site out. Company's market cap, it's really good. So yeah, so NVIDIA 24 billion shares outstanding, and they hadn't stopped the stock from performing. So let's just throw that one out. We're not going to talk about that in this video because we all know that's FUD. We're not going to talk about FUD on this channel unless we're debunking it, okay? So now that we've cleared that up on that, there's not too many shares. The dilution is accretive. So I want to explain why the dilution is accretive, because when Saylor, issues these preferred stocks and dilutes the common stock, he's using these preferred stocks to acquire Bitcoin, especially with this Stretch. Now, Stretch hasn't tapped its ATM yet, but with the Robinhood uplisting, I was assuming that would give Saylor the opportunity to tap the ATM. And he's using the ATM to buy Bitcoin. So he's paying about 10% APY to buy Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is an 86% 10-year CAGR, okay? This information's up at 𝐂𝐫𝐞𝐿, another good site, 𝐂𝐫𝐞𝐿.com. You see here, it got too big. Okay, you can see here the CAGR for Bitcoin over the last 10 years is 86%. So this is the whole like how it works is that what he's doing is giving investors and retail investors and the suits 10% a year to buy an asset that's going up 86% a year. I hope that makes sense. And that's how the dilution is accretive, okay? So what this does is this makes Bitcoin per share go up and hopefully keeps Bitcoin yield positive. So these are the two key metrics I'm looking at: Bitcoin per share and Bitcoin yield. That's what I'm focusing on, because remember, guys, I'm a Bitcoiner. So I try to think of things in terms of Bitcoin, because everything gets cheaper in Bitcoin because everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. So as long as MSTR has Bitcoin per share going up and Bitcoin yield going up, this is all worth it. Now let's finally talk about the risks. These are some real legit risks, guys. Bitcoin is probably going to crash. I don't know how low, but if Bitcoin falls off a cliff, let's say Bitcoin in the bear market in 2026. Like, let's say Bitcoin hits 150K or close to 200K, and by Q4 to Q1, and then just dumps below 100K in 2026. This is all going to blow up in our face, I think. So that's the real risk here. We're going to talk a lot about this on this channel as we kind of get closer and closer to the bear market. But if Bitcoin crashes, whoa, I don't know how this is going to, I don't know how he's going to be able to pay the yield. The collateral's still there, but the value of the collateral could drop significantly. And finally, no preferred demand. So maybe a lot of people think, well, Bitcoin's too volatile. Saylor can't continue paying these dividends. I'll just avoid this product altogether. So that's how these things could backfire. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I don't think he ruined the company. I think he's just doing something different. Like I said, guys, to make a kind of an apples to apples comparison, when Saylor first borrowed money to buy Bitcoin back in 2020, okay, in 2021, where he got the Silvergate loan, right? Silvergate ended up going bankrupt, but he borrowed like $500 million from Silverbank to buy Bitcoin, I think. You know, he was borrowing money in the beginning, okay? He didn't have this like clever preferred share scheme. It worked. So everyone called him an idiot and a fool. Back in 2021, he was down billions on his Bitcoin bet. Now, you know, the rest is history, okay? You know, strategies in the NASDAQ 100 now. So maybe the similar thing will happen with the preferred stocks. Everyone will call Saylor a fool for ruining the company. And then maybe there's just like this short period of, you know, discomfort. But I want to talk to you guys about something that I learned from Sam Ovens. Sam Ovens, he's a YouTuber and like business coach. He actually invented school. He mentioned something in a video, an old video, that kind of makes me think about how this relates. And it's called so yeah, I'm going to link to the video in the description below so you guys can check it out. But he talks about time horizons, and he talks about how things are uncomfortable in the beginning, right? Like having a baby, right? Going to the gym, right? Eating healthy, you know, being disciplined on your schedule or whatever, you know, avoiding, you know, partying at nightclubs and stuff like that. These things are difficult and uncomfortable in the beginning, but, you know, in the long run, they're great, right? Like, it's uncomfortable for a woman to have a baby, but then after a while, it's great to have a kid. Or it's uncomfortable to go to the gym and you're tired and sore, but then a couple of days later, you're stronger. Or it's uncomfortable to stick to your diet, but if you stick to your diet, you feel better. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen with this whole preferred stock thing. I'm thinking that this is kind of like short-term discomfort for long-term gains. That's what happened when he started buying Bitcoin in 2021. So that's my mindset right now. But I don't know, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I've been reading your comments, and a lot of you guys are making some very compelling points. So that's why we make these videos, to have this discussion and open things up to get your guys' feedback and what I think. And you know, we can see we can help us hodl through the frustration pretty much. Not selling. When Saylor came up with his 21-year plan, I said I would hold for 20 years for retirement. I'm not selling. I'm not chasing the miners. I know it's what a lot of you guys are probably doing, probably jumping out of MSTR, chasing the miners, which is fine. But at the end of the day, the miners don't have 640,000 Bitcoin. So I'm about to wrap this video up, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, hang in there. Not financial advice. Check out the MSTR Investors Club and check out my ebook, MSTR Options Cash Flow, to get more tips and strategies from me. That's all I got until the next one, guys. Take care.